Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 different ways you can level up your career almost immediately. And this is purely from my experience and what's worked for me. I would say absorbing skills or the way people talk from either leaders or people you admire within different companies or different places you've worked at or shadowed or whatnot is something that's worked really well for me. I have shadowed, been mentored potentially by some people that I really admire and how they think and how they work and their approach to things, their demeanor, and I've really taken that and implemented my own spin on it. Even if I am trying to understand a problem or trying to make sure I heard a requirement in my world, as we call it, correctly from a client, the way I'm messaging that back or I'm playing that back, I have a specific talk track that shows, hey, I have listened to what you said and here's me regurgitating it to make sure I understood the message. So, things as little as just how you change, how you talk or the things you've changed in how you talk can make a big difference. So that would be way number one is look at all the people you admire and or look up to and identify one thing that you like what they do and how you can incorporate that in your own way, into your own career. Start doing, acting in the position that you want to be. So let's say you're a consultant in my world and you want to move to a senior consultant. What that means is, taking the lead on things, being proactive about certain things. If you are a consultant trying to move to a more senior consultant, that shows that you're seasoned a bit more than other consultants and shows you have some seniority to you, start acting that way. Believe it or not, demeanor is a huge impact or a huge part of the promotion process. It's a huge part of people's thinking. There's a human psychology part and a skills part to, I feel like every promotion I've been a part of, every promotion I've done for my team and or I've seen around me. So what that means is if you are trying to move to the next level, you need to be working as if you're in the next level as much as possible. Now, working at the next level may mean you have a certain authority, certain more responsibility, and obviously you don't. However, you can, be as close to that as you can. You can partner with your leader or a person who's in that position as much as you can. You can shadow them as much as you can, and essentially do as much as possible to commit to show you're ready for that level. In my opinion, the best promotions are the ones where people are already doing the role before they are in the role. That has been the case for me, and it's worked extremely well because once I received whatever promotion I got into, I was extremely comfortable because I was already doing the role. Now, there's always pros and cons of being thrown into a situation and figuring it out and learning that way. That's more of a fast-paced way to learn, and I enjoy that, but I don't think everyone does. Some people like to be a bit more planned. So depending on your experience, I would say start doing as much as you can to do the next role you want to be into. Just a quick note, I think everything I'm saying here applies if you are somewhat happy in your job and want to move up in your job. You either want to move up in the same company or you want to move up in the same realm of work, maybe for a different company. If you are unhappy with your job and unhappy with your career, I do not think these things apply or will fix that problem. Instead, you need to find something you're gravitated more to. If I'm being completely honest, I got into the field I'm in, the world of consulting, because of the money. The money was attractive to me. I thought it was, at the time, and maybe still is, one of the highest paying jobs you can get. And that's what attracted me. But then I developed a passion for helping people through work. I developed a passion for being influential, for talking, for advising others and having that sort of power. And that's what really has kept me going. But you need to find what you're passionate in to a certain degree and then use these skills to kind of push you up. I think this one's a bit undervalued, but the importance of optics, networking within or outside of your company, and being visible is extremely important. I would say where I'm at today, and people that I know are doing way better than me and at higher levels than me, half of the reason, 50% of the reason that they're in the position they're in is because of optics. It's because of networking. It's because of visibility and not necessarily skill. Skills can take you as far as they can take you, but you definitely need the networking piece or the optics piece. So point is, whether you are trying to get a promotion within your company, or whether you are trying to get a promotion or look for a job for another company, I think being visible is extremely important. A way to be visible within your current company is to make sure different parts of the business know you, different parts of the leadership know you. You don't want to be exactly viewed as a pawn. You want to be viewed as someone who's a thought leader, someone who's an emerging thought leader, someone who has a specific niche in a certain subject, who can be a subject matter expert, or a SME as we would call it. So I become identified with a certain part of solving a problem, a certain SME in a certain area, so people know to come get help from you in that certain area. I think that goes a long way in terms of optics. Whenever discussions happen around promotion, whenever discussions happen around who's ready for the next level, people will remember you because of how you help them, because of what you're good at and your specialty and how valuable you are. Find ways you can stand out. All of this is really to basically find a way you can stand out. So if you're a financial analyst at a giant company with a team of 500 other financial analysts for whatever reason, you need to find a way to stand out. And that's how you'll move up. That's how you'll get recognized. Find ways to be visible. Do what you think is right. So identify those gaps or areas where you can take initiative on, where you can take a lead on, where you can speak up more, where you can host certain things, lead certain projects to stand out. So don't shut up and dribble. Find a way to stand out amongst the crowd. If you're trying to move up and into another company, get another job at another company, you need to be able to network. You need to network with people outside of your comfort zone, people who you don't know. So connecting with them on LinkedIn, connecting with them at events you're able to attend, connecting with them online, messaging on LinkedIn, and really getting to know them. Them getting to know you and what you're good at, and seeing if there's any opportunities that make sense for you two to work together. You'd be surprised how many people I know, including myself, have gotten jobs and or opportunities by networking. And it's a big thing, especially in the world of social media, even in the corporate world. It's just a must-have as you level up. I don't care what level you're at, networking is a big part of pushing people up. There's a lot of people who are what I'll call worker bees. They stay in their lane, they do what they're supposed to do, 9 to 5, and they're out. I think that's a great way to go, and there's career progression there, and there's plenty of work-life balance there. That being said, the people who I see move faster, who are more aggressive, who are more ambitious, have more drive to move up, they are doing things above and beyond outside of the normal duties that they have. So that could be anything from leading a new effort or initiative at work. That could be showing proactiveness in different problem areas. That could be taking the lead on different things that arise on any project that you're working on. So if you're working on a project with the team, if there's a project you're working on solo and there's some problem or issue that you realize, coming to your manager, coming to your lead, or coming to the team with, hey, this is the problem I found. However, these are the solutions I am kind of targeting or I'm thinking through that might be a potential fix, is a way better look and shows proactiveness than, hey guys, I found this problem and I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. So basically showing eagerness, showing drive, showing leadership type skills. There's a variation and a version of that at different levels from, again, in my world, I'm going to use consulting examples, consultants, senior consultants, architects, directors, etc. There's different levels to that, but it could be applied to any role. Anyone who shows initiative, proactiveness, and just a willing to take on more outside of their normal duties, I feel like has a leg up above anyone else who doesn't. Common sense approach. That is my way of tackling any problem. I take a common sense approach to anything I do at work and or in my personal life. So what that means is people need to stop thinking with their paycheck, and they need to start thinking what they think would be best for that company, for that client, for whatever the project that they're working on, that whatever decision they're about to make. Take a common sense approach to it. Weigh pros and cons. Do what you think is best, or at least share what you think is best. I tend to find people who can think for themselves are the ones that stand out to me, are the ones that I feel like I can trust more. Depending on your manager, depending on your management, some people want yes men working for them to share the vision that they're setting for their organization, working for them. That being said, I think, if you can get your message across around your common sense approach and it shows your level of thinking, I think that's a great move. I think that's a way to level up and a way to get recognized. It's a combination of all of these things together that really make you stand out, that really put you above the top, that really show you're ready for the next level of thinking, that really get you there. I think another way to level yourself up is to honestly take on a challenge. So maybe this means you're in your role that you are in now, and you're looking for the next role. Maybe there's a part of the responsibility of the next role that you could take on now, working with whomever on your team, your manager on your team, to really understand what you can take on and how that can help you grow. I think there's significant value in taking on a challenge. I think if you're taking on a challenge and it's not already part of your responsibilities, then you should have all the support you need around you to figure it out. You should be able to reach out to different people to help you, to learn, to figure it out. But you need to have the attitude of taking on challenges. If you're not taking on challenges, you're not pushing yourself, you're not growing. My personal experience, I have pushed myself in almost every role. The way I personally know when I'm ready to move on to the next role is if I don't have a challenge that I see I could take on in my current role. And so I'll look to the next role. And if I'm doing enough challenges from the next role up, then I know I'm ready. And I think it's extremely important to be accountable and pursuing it and just kind of being accountable in taking on a challenge. It's not always going to be the case that someone's going to come knocking on your doorstep to take on a challenge, because your manager and other people within a company have way too much going on in their own life to think about everybody, in my opinion. So you got to take some accountability and you have to figure it out and really take on that challenge. Just another note, there's an old school thinking perhaps of getting in before your boss, leaving after your boss, to show you've been there longer. I think that's just way too traditional. I think what you need to show is your value to your boss, to your manager. You need to show the value you're bringing. You need to show the thought leadership you're bringing. You need to show the initiatives you're taking. I think that far outweighs any sort of, I got here before you, I'm working here longer every day, I deserve this promotion, more than anything else. Everyone runs across these type of people in their career, but don't just speak to speak. Don't just talk in a meeting to talk, to show that you're there. I think asking questions, asking intelligent questions, asking inquisitive questions is equally as important as having a perspective or speaking in a meeting or sharing thoughts. I think asking the right questions goes a long way. It shows your curiosity. It shows you're trying to formulate a perspective. It shows you're trying to take initiative. So don't just speak to speak, but again, ask questions, follow up, make sure you understand the subject, make sure you can give a perspective on a subject. And I think having healthy debates within your team, with other people, is extremely important. Another topic that a lot of people look over, and I believe again is undervalued, is essentially creating a 3 to 5 year career plan, is knowing where you want to be in 3 to 5 years. What that does is basically, if you know what role, what type of position you want to be in 3 to 5 years, you can then create a work back plan. And what I mean is you can backtrack from that role or that position and what positions you think or what you've seen on LinkedIn or other people have had to achieve that role or to get to that role. What kind of positions you need to be in to learn whatever skills it takes to get to that role. And really, making sure once you're working back or creating that plan that you essentially understand the different levels you have to get to, understand the skill sets that you need, and you can then align your, personal career goals to that. So maybe it'll tell you very clearly, are you on the right track to be where you want to be, or are you not? And if you're not, what changes are you going to make? What skills are you going to learn? And again, I mentioned this in the previous video, but setting goals is super important. So this way, one of your goals can be, working towards day by day at your plan for your long-term vision of what role you want to be in. I think it's super undervalued, and it's something I've done in my career. I think I did it very early on, and I've adjusted it as time has gone. But it's guided me throughout the way, and I've found tremendous success in this approach. So people talk about niches all the time, and I just want to come out here and say, finding your niche takes time. You're not going to typically find your niche in the corporate world in your early 20s or while you're an entry-level consultant, entry-level analyst, or so on and so forth. It's going to take a little bit of time, perhaps 3 to 5, to possibly 7 years till you find your niche. However, it's really important to think in the back of your mind about what your niche could be, what you're interested in, and what that looks like. Having a niche and what you're known for is super important because that kind of shapes who you are. And certain niches, depending on demand, can command high dollars and high value. So it's important to find a niche, I would say, later in your career and not be a generalist at everything. If you are a generalist, in whatever field of work you're in and you're killing it, then great for you. But I would say, finding a niche within your skill set, within finance, within accounting, certain type of accounting, within software, etc., is super key. I hope you found these 10 skills, 10 things useful. I'm more than happy to make more videos like this. Again, I'm using my personal experience and what I've told other people, helped other people with, to help you all. Please comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, and please like and subscribe the video, share the video if you can. Khalifa out.